All right. Good evening, everyone, and it's really great to have this very timely webinar. And because we decided not to do it as a pre-recorded session, as comfortable as it would have been, because it is very important because of the window of opportunity that has presented itself. So, who is Zaki or Zakiwale? Before we go into this, and why should you listen to me? It's very important you know who is speaking with you, so that okay, we are not just here to take your time and waste your time, because this is very important. We are not just how to talk, we are how to make impact, and that comes with a lot of years of experience in the career industry. I personally, professionally, have about 10 years of experience. I wrote 6 years, but generally I have about 10 years of experience, working experience, and about 8 years of that in the data space, and let me say 3+ years of that in the blockchain industry. And well, over the years I've had impact in my data analytics journey. I started the people analytics newsletter at the top Nigerian bank, and the impact of this made the company to raise do company-wide pay raises, and even introduce a 4-day work week in Nigeria, which is very, very unheard of. I designed data models for multiple industries, generating over $100,000 in ROI. I've trained over 60+ senior executives in oil and gas, facilitated GDPR is for the European Union, data protection, and even NDPR is for Nigeria. For over 150 professionals, I've developed NLP-based AI models and all of that. And as regarding my social impact, I'm very interested in raising teenagers, purposeful teenagers. Of course, I have international experience and also international education, but my career mission, right, is to steer organizations through strategic foresight and also empower individuals, to gain opportunities in the data, blockchain, and AI industry as it is, evolving rapidly. So why have we come to do this webinar? Straight up, a lot is happening currently, and I would have said that okay, maybe we should wait and make it very polished, but there is a window of opportunity that has opened up now, and we decided to jump in straight up to help people to take advantage of this opportunity. And what's that big shift, and why are we here? If you can see my screen, let me get your response in the group chat. Before I go, let me see can you see my screen? Okay, so I can get thumbs up. Good. All right, wonderful. All right, so let me go back. So what's the big shift and why are we here? Well, this moment is a wealth distribution opportunity, I would say. And what does it really mean? Let me go back probably 5 years, or maybe six years ago. About 2019, remote work wasn't the norm. About 2019, very few companies in the world, I would say maybe less than 2% of companies in the world, were involved in their workforce working remotely, right? And when 2020, 21 came, the COVID year, that sent a shockwave all over the world. The lockdown came up, and we see that a lot of companies have to innovate on how to continue working while not being physically present. And for the very first time in the history of the world, the technology had always been there, but now necessity, as they say, is the mother of invention. So people had to pivot to start working remotely, and all of that brought in what I would say a new wave of work model where people could work with their companies from anywhere they are in the world. So during the lockdown, people relocated to their families because they needed to be their families, but they were still working. And a lot of companies said, oh wow, so this is workable. And that started the remote work wave, the first wave of remote work, I would say. And that has brought us to where we are. But before I continue in history, what history has to give us as regarding remote work and the opportunities that we are experiencing right now, is because recently, for some of you have been very conversant with what has been happening in the United States. Recently the H-1B visa changes says that any company that is going to bring in any employee from outside the United States that company is going to pay $100,000 each for each employee. That means that the U.S. government is saying, if you know that these employees are very valuable, then you should be willing to pay as much as that to bring them in. Of which usually before, I think the amount was about $1,000. So it was a lot of difference. And if you know about the U.S. economy, the H-1B visa is what a lot of companies use to power their tech ecosystem, especially. Look, go to Silicon Valley. Many of the people that are working there are Indians, Africans, and you see that many of them are on this visa, H-1B visa. And what has that done? Because of this new increase in visa fee for H-1B section of the US visa, many of those people that are on that visa will need to relocate back to their country, because many companies are not going to pay $100,000 each for each of these people. And what is that going to do? One, what that is going to do is that it's going to force companies to start looking to hiring remote abroad again, globally. And that is where the opportunity lies for a lot of Africans, Nigerians, even African immigrants in all over the world. Because when we go to, let me go to the next slide so that I can show you. If you see, the first wave of remote work, as you can see on my slide, is I would say 2020 to 2023, when the COVID forced companies to hire globally and work. So a lot of people enjoyed this remote work thing, right? Even let me go a bit religious. A lot of people say, oh, there's the harvest period, and one of the ways that came was through remote work. People were able to work with companies abroad and earn in dollars while staying in their country of origin. So you see, between 2020 and 2023, remote work boom was very high. Then all of a sudden it looked like that trend started dying down, and this is what a personal observation over the years. So you see, from probably the ending of 2023 up until now, the remote work trend died down. So more companies started, oh, we want people that are in Europe, we want people that are in US. Do you have a US visa? Or are you eligible to work in the United States? And so up from 2023 to 2025, we can see that if you observe, many of those remote work opportunities disappeared, and what you would see was hybrid. So that means that you needed to have a physical residence staying in those countries. Now, which is the second wave. Now the third wave, which we are in, right, I would say, is this H-1B visa of US. Somebody say, oh, okay, are you just saying just one policy is going to change how remote work is going to be globally? Possibly yes, because the US is the world power. This is not just any other country, this is the United States. And what this is going to do is, the moment Fortune 500 companies, the moment the big tech companies, the big four, all of those ones, start looking abroad to hire again, there's what we call the talent arbitrage, where they will prefer to hire from emerging economies where they are going to pay less compared to hiring the same person in the United States, and they will also get the same value for what they are hiring for. For example, they hire an engineer in Lagos State that is very skilled, and they are paying the person $100,000. Hiring the same engineer in the United States, you might have to pay probably $200,000 or $180,000, or maybe even $250,000 doing the same thing. So you see that this is now going to force a lot of companies in the US to start hiring globally. And once that starts happening, which is already starting to happen, this is what is going to happen. Companies will want to leverage talents from emerging economies like India, especially Africa, because they are going to get cheap labor, as it were, and they are going to get skilled people but cheaper compared to hiring the same people in their own country. So you see that the same people that they would have said, okay, come to the United States with the US visa for $100,000, they will prefer to hire you from wherever you are in your country, as long as you have the skill, which is why we are here. As long as you have the skill, which is why we are here. So now you can see that we are entering a third wave of what I call remote work, where there's going to be a resurge of remote work, because once US companies start hiring globally again, their European counterparts will also look to start doing the same, because they are seeing, okay, some of our competitors are hiring globally, hiring from places that seem to be termed cheap labor, right, and getting the value for all they want. So why can't we? Why are we restricting ourselves to Europe? Why are we restricting ourselves to the Middle East? Why are we restricting ourselves to the US? Why are we restricting ourselves to Canada? Right? Because the US companies are doing it, other companies are in other places are going to follow suit, and that is just going to spark a resurgence in what remote work opportunities for talents in Nigeria, in Kenya, in South Africa, in Mumbai, different parts of the world, globally, what we call the global south, as it were. And that is why we are doing this. Why does this matter to you? Companies want global skills, and they will not want to incur relocation cost of paying $100,000 to bring you to the US. For what? So they will prefer to hire globally, instead of doing $100,000 per visa. And African immigrants, or Africans generally, this is cost effective, and you are highly capable of those skills. So this means that these remote jobs that are going to start popping up more and more, as you see, from what I am seeing, I would say from December going forward, from December up until at least mid 2027, we are going to see a lot of spark in remote opportunities, and you need to be positioned for it. And as long as they are going ahead with this is going to cause a chain reaction that is going to cause remote work opportunities to spring up from those places in the US and Canada and Europe altogether. And you have Africans generally, even immigrants over there, you have to take advantage of this opportunity. And this is why this matters to you, because you can decide to stay in your country and earn globally, earn far more compared to what you're earning in your current economy. And someone will say, oh, so does it mean, what kind of jobs are we going to be seeing? Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you now, because that is me overselling myself or oversaying what is not true. There are certain industries that are going to be even more remote than ever. Not all industries, I would say, will have this spark, but there are certain industries that will have this spark. For example, the blockchain industry, AI, and generally data. Data is in almost every industry. But I would say in terms of industry, I would say blockchain and AI. Why am I saying blockchain and AI? Well, an average blockchain company is natively remote. They have a remote culture. An average blockchain, because this is my industry, I've been in this industry for about 6 years now, so I know what is obtainable in this industry. An average blockchain company hires remotely. Average. So they are natively remote. They have a native remote culture, because even the promise of Web3 is decentralization, right? So they are not boxed by one location. AI, there's a lot of talent gap worldwide. The demand for AI is astronomical, in the sense that there is a lot of competition, people trying to get the AI market cap. Countries are even setting up AI centers to scale up their people. So there is a huge talent gap, and if you are skilled in this space, you can easily get remote opportunities. And of course, data analytics, there is always a demand for data. As long as the internet is functioning and we are leaving digital footprints on the internet, there will always be high demand for data, any day, anytime. Except maybe the internet just switches off, which is not possible, in this time that we have. And I will also say, why should you act now? Why? Because if you don't act now, what will happen is you will just look at the opportunity come, but you do not prepare for it, and you do not position for it. And because you didn't position for it, what is going to happen is that a lot of those opportunities will just come, bam, 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 and all of a sudden it looks like it has died down. I'm not going to say, probably it might now not die down. For example, when the COVID year kickstarted remote work, everybody said, oh, the future of work is here. We are all working remotely, and everybody started working remotely for the next 2-3 years. We thought it was going to be forever, until senior executives started saying, you know what, we need to start bringing our people back to work, because managers were not able to ensure that their people were working productively remotely. So it wasn't that remote work was not working, it was that we had managers that were not able to manage their team remotely. They struggled with it. So more of the senior management in many companies started calling for hybrid. Okay, you know what, you can still work remotely if you want. 3 days a week you work at home, 2 days a week you come to the office. And that means that just removed the opportunity for a lot of African talents that want to work remotely full time, because they are not in that location. But now, with recent things happening and they're accelerating, you need to be well positioned for it, because I can show you 2026 you're going to see a lot of remote opportunities, global remote opportunities, not just remote that will tell you have to be in this environment, global remote opportunities. And when you look at for example, now let me talk to some of African immigrants that are in the diaspora. This also applies to you. For example, if probably you are in the UK and you are looking at some of the jobs you do, some of them are good jobs, but they are jobs that you are not really, you don't see a future career there, even though it's giving you the paycheck and helping you to survive. It's not something you see yourself doing for the next 10-15 years. Why not look at these opportunities that are springing up now, right, and position yourself for the room? Some of you have families. You want to do a kind of job that will allow you to stay at home with your family and work remotely and take care of your children. You don't want to hand your children to people you don't know, because you want your children to be under your care, which is good, and these opportunities are there for you. So it doesn't, and in this industry, in blockchain, in AI, it doesn't, as these opportunities are springing up, they are not really requiring you to relocate, or nobody's going to come and ask you extra certification. For example, I converse with a lot of people in the UK, for example, and many of the things they tell me is, the companies are asking them for certification. Do you have a certificate for this? When I start discussing some of the opportunities that are ahead, you see that certification is not really the problem. The problem is a lack of portfolio, because nobody really cares about the certificates you have. Is what portfolio? What have you built in your portfolio? That is what convinces recruiters when they want to give you a job. That is what tells them that, okay, you have the skill. Because I can get a certification and it can just be academical, but to solving real life problem in businesses, it's your portfolio that will show them that, and to help you to earn that trust. And that is why I'm saying this is important for you, and this is going to help you to thrive globally, right? And this is why we have come to why we are doing this webinar, to inform you, because we run trainings in Credulen, but we have seen the need to launch our career accelerator. And what is our career accelerator, right? Our career accelerator is, we are not just training people, right? We are trying to build a talent pipeline to position people for the right jobs. Now, in what we call the Credulen Career Accelerator now, which I'm still going to explain more, right, is that you get a 3-month real work internship, global mentorship, and career coaching. You are going to learn how to negotiate salaries and reverse, recruiter psychology, as I call it. You're going to build portfolio projects that land interviews, and community-driven accountability and referrals. Now, let me go back before I go forward. Why is this career accelerator important? Is that there are so many people offering trainings right now. You get trained and they dump you. You are left on your own, of which you don't know how to get a job. It is one thing to get trained, but it's another thing to know how to get a job. There's a big difference, and that's where we come in. Through our career accelerator, and let me go forward now, as you can see on my screen, the Credulen Career Accelerator is more like a launch pad for you into global career, and that's why we are starting this career accelerator now at this window of opportunity, because it's not just about that we are going to train you. A lot of people do training. So how does that help you to get a job? I mean, the reason why you want to get that training is to get a job, but do you know how to get a job, right? Or if you have a job currently, how do you transition to that kind of job that you really want? And that's what the Credulen Career Accelerator is all about. In the Credulen Career Accelerator, you learn high demand blockchain, data, and AI skills. Why is it blockchain? Why are we talking about data? Why is it AI? Remember, I said earlier that there are 3 industries we have zoomed in, looking at what is happening currently in the world. For example, let me talk about blockchain briefly. Blockchain is powering the new financial system. I can assure you, in the next 3-4 years, every cross-border payment rate will be powered by the blockchain. And blockchain is not just about cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. Maybe what people know about blockchain is Bitcoin. Blockchain is far more than Bitcoin. There are use cases. The financial world is changing rapidly. For example, let me tell you, when you look at the total transactions that Visa and MasterCard did last year, there's something called the stablecoin. Stablecoin is powered by the blockchain. So the total transactions that Visa card, MasterCard did last year, stablecoin USDT surpassed it. That's to say something, that the financial rails of the world, the payment rails of the world, the transaction rails of the world, cross-border transactions, remittances are changing from the legacy ones that we know of MasterCard. They are shifting to the blockchain. The blockchain is basically the third wave of the internet, powering Web3. That's what we call the Web3 of trust and ownership. I don't want to go into all of that technical details. We have some webinars we've done previously about blockchain. We can share that after this live session, but I don't want to drill down. Now, data. As long as the internet exists and people do activities, businesses, people chat online, all of that, your digital footprints are gold mine. Data. Now, AI. I don't need to say much about that. That is already selling. So everybody know what AI is doing. AI is changing jobs. AI is taking jobs of people. So people need to reskill. For example, I was speaking with the senior management of some companies, and they actually are afraid because they know that AI is here to disrupt business and work, but they don't know how, right, to go about it. So the smart ones are actually what? Upskilling their current workforce or getting new people that are skilled in AI technology. Where it is you're an agentic AI engineer or agentic AI product manager and all of that, which I'll discuss later. So this is why we have zoomed into these three areas, talking about in our career accelerator. You are going to learn high demand blockchain data and AI skills. You will build portfolio that gets you interviews. You will get career coaching from professionals, me, and not just me, but you are going to get from other people that are in the industry. So this is different from trainings. Maybe people that take training and they just, anybody can do training. I can show you. Just go on YouTube, learn something, learn it a bit, then start training people. You started doing training, but how many of them have real jobs? I can show you. Maybe less than 5%. How many of them have aced interviews to get a job? How many of them understand recruiter psychology? How many of them know how to negotiate salary? How many of them know how to brand themselves on LinkedIn to get a job? I can tell you, if I screenshot or do a screen recording on my LinkedIn chat now, or my LinkedIn DM, almost every week I get messages from recruiters. Even still last week, I still got a message. 2 weeks ago, I got a message. And most of them are actually from the UK and Canada, right? Maybe one from Germany. So yeah, no, 2. Almost every week I get a message. If you go to my LinkedIn, it's okay. Yeah, we'll get to the question and answer. Don't worry. Almost every week I get a message, and that's because I have positioned myself well. Any recruiter that searches certain keywords, my profile, comes up and they send me a message. So all of that, how did I get to that stage? Is part of the career coaching, the global 3-month internship experience. What does that mean? That after training with us, you are going to get a 3-month internship experience. And even in this career accelerator, you will learn how to negotiate negotiation skill for better salaries. Let me say a bit about this. Many times I've seen, for example, let me use engineers. They are skilled, they are very good in your technical knowledge. Now you have aced the interview to the third stage. The fourth stage, they now start discussing with you. So how much do you want us to pay you? And because the recruiter is a Nigerian guy in Lagos, and in his mind he wants to be earning 1.5 million naira per month. 1.5 million naira is like maybe $1,000. And it's like, okay, how much you want? And probably the amount he was earning before was 200k, right? And he said, I the $1,000 with force and energy. He calls it out of his heart. I say $1,000. And the recruiter that is recruiting from the US, from the UK, and they're like, this person, see that this person is stupid or is not skilled. Now that puts them to start thinking, does this person really know what they are saying that they know how to do? Because see, I can tell you, negotiating yourself cheap disqualifies you from opportunities, because it sends a signal to the recruiter that you are not experienced, so we can't hire you. So all of these things are one of the reasons why people don't even know why they do interviews with certain stage, and they don't even know why they are getting back to them, because you just mentioned an amount that is so ridiculously low compared to international standard that it sends a message to them that you actually you don't know what you are doing. So how do you, and also knowing not to outsell yourself, where you are mentioning amount that are so outrageous, they're like, oh, you don't even know what you're saying. How do you meet them halfway? How do you do all of this conversation? How do you even follow up? How do you befriend a recruiter? I have numbers of recruiter from all over the world, in Russia, surprisingly, in Eastern Europe, in US, in Canada, almost anywhere. And that's because even if they I have an interview with them, and some of them I don't get those jobs, I still keep my contacts. You see, all of these things are things we try to teach you that on the long run, these things benefit you. And these are part of what will be, chipping out for you in the career accelerator. In the career accelerator, we also be having, career mentors in data, in AI, in blockchain, and even some HR recruiters from all over the world coming to share their knowledge, industry in-house knowledge for you. So you see, in our career accelerator, it's not just about we are telling you about blockchain skills, data skills, AI skills. No, it's all everything inclusive that will help you to get a job and an internship experience for that big job that you want. Can you see that? So this career mentor is what I'm even so passionate about it, because you have opportunity to connect and ask questions to key people in certain industries from all over the world that are already out, that have real life jobs. Okay, how do you, because the reason I'm doing this is, I remember when I was pivoting into tech in 2020. So before 2020, I have about 4 years of experience, not core tech. But when I wanted to pivot into tech, when I saw the opportunity that COVID presented, I had quickly skilled up, and was pivoting. And I remember one of the things that helped me to get a job quickly then was I followed up on someone that I had never met. I followed him up on LinkedIn till he convinced his employers that they should give me a job. He actually nagged them for 3 months, nudged them for 3 months. And in that 3-month period, he was showing me his work almost every day. You see, he was showing me his work almost every day. So by the time I was going to do the interview with the recruiters of that company, I was speaking as though I had been working there for 3 months. It was just as though I had been working there, and that was how I got the job. So that was career mentorship for me, because apart from him teaching me the technical skills, he also told me some of the things these recruiters in their company are always looking out for. He told me a lot of things in terms of their work culture. So when I speak, I had to speak from their work culture perspective. You see, some of these things are what you get from this career mentor session in the career accelerator. And that's why this career accelerator is very important for you, for anyone that is going to be interested in joining our career accelerator. Now, our programs in Web3 Analytics, we have different programs. You can go to our site. You're already in our community. We are going to share the link. So there's really no need to worry. We just let you know some of the things we do. And now we have programs in Web3 Analytics, blockchain engineering, AI, agentic AI, and they are designed for the new global economy. And we have cohorts that are coming up. For example, our blockchain analytics cohort is starting soon. Somebody started saying, what's blockchain analytics? We are going to forward a link to a webinar, probably a 23 minutes webinar we did about why blockchain analytics. Because as I said, everybody is learning data analytics, as I usually say. Even their cousin is doing data analytics. Everybody is learning data analytics. So why not zoom in to do into analytics in a niche that is new? Less number of people are there, and there's a lot of demand there. If blockchain is powering the new financial system of the world, right, that means that a new type of data is being created that is blockchain specific, and there are very few people that understand blockchain. So if you're a data analyst that understands blockchain, that makes you a blockchain data analyst, and that means you're already in a niche that very few people are, and you easily get a job, international job. So so that just talk about the blockchain analytics. We can go deep into it, but the next cohort for our blockchain analytics is starting October 13th, and that's next month. So if you're interested, you let us know. But let me go to the next slide. So if you're interested in joining the career accelerator, looking at this screen, either scan the QR code or type in that URL and fill that form. Now, when you fill that form, at the end of that form, you see a WhatsApp link. After submitting the form, click the WhatsApp link and send message to that number, so that we get your interest. Now, the reason I'm saying it is for everyone that is live on this call now, right, and you click this link, if you are interested in joining our career accelerator, this is what we are going to do, because we are monitoring the time that people register to their interest for the career accelerator. When we open up the career accelerator, which is very, very soon, probably in the next few weeks, very soon, next month, right, we are going to get it's very, very extremely special discount, because I can tell you the career accelerator is not free. It's not free. right? Either you are skilled or you want to train with us and you don't, you just need to understand what the career accelerator is. Click this link, type this URL. Let me zoom it in for you. Type this URL in your browser or screenshot this now so that you can type the URL and or maybe scan the QR code and fill the form that pops up. When you fill the form, right, there's a WhatsApp link after you fill the form. Click that link, then send that message to the program director. We have a program director for the career accelerator. So once that happens, we are going to get a response. Then the person will engage you on your career goals. Already in that form, let me show you. So there's a form here. This is the form you are going to fill. You see that in that form, you see it's going to ask you about your career goals. What do you want to achieve in the next 6 to 12 months? Do you want to join the career accelerator? You need to click yes. Are you proficient in any tech skill? Which area of training are you interested in? Is it blockchain data analytics? Like for example, our next cohort is starting. Let me zoom this in if you are not able to see it. So our next cohort is starting for the blockchain data analytics next month, October, right? So ensure that you fill the form and let us know your interest. Ensure you fill the form. If you're interested, ensure you fill the form today, right? Ensure you fill the form today. Now, to the next thing I want to say, because we are starting our blockchain analytics cohort 3 next month. If you are interested in blockchain analytics, let me say it now. We have our other courses, as I said, blockchain engineering, agentic AI engineer or agentic AI product manager. Yes, those cohorts are starting. The next cohort for those ones will be coming very soon. We'll give the date for those ones. The date for those ones is not yet communicated yet, but the one I can tell you the date that is starting is the blockchain analytics. The third cohort is starting by October 13th. So if you're interested, come here, look at this. This is the second link. Click it. This link is going to lead you directly to a WhatsApp message. Then chat with the admin for the Web3 analytics course. That's blockchain. If I say Web3, blockchain. So the Web3 analytics course, we have a flash discount. So if you chat now, if you send that message now, if you're interested, you send that message now, right? You're going to get a flash discount. So we communicate what that flash discount is. The reason why is because, if, for example, if you go to our website now, www.credulen.com, we have different courses: data analytics, data engineering. Okay, we've updated this. Let me just open it for you. Oh, sorry. So this is going to Canva. So you see, this is our course. So we have different courses on our blockchain on our training school. So we have different courses now. Their prices are there, but if on this call you click this link for the Web3 analytics, blockchain analytics, you're going to get a flash discount, huge flash discount, right? Huge flash discount, and there are other things that comes with it. So if you're interested, click it. And I know some persons were not able to join us live. If you're not able to join us live and you're watching this recording now, right, probably you're watching the recording tomorrow or Monday, right, within now and the next 1 week, you're also going to get a discount. The discount might not just be as much as people that click the link now to register their intention. People that click the link now that are live, we get a bigger discount. But if you're watching the recording, don't be discouraged. You're still going to get a discount, but it's not be as much as for the people that are watching live now. So that's for the next 1 week. And of course, generally we have early bird discounts that will also not be as much as the next 1 week discount. So it depends on how early you inform us and the kind of discount you get for our course. Then this is for the third cohort. So let me not just go into it. So I've seen some of us have been having our hands raised up. I saw someone's name. I think I saw John. Someone's name, if I'm correct, was a question came. Is it Jerry? If I'm correct, is it Jerry or John? Let me be sure. I saw is it John I saw or a Jerry? Just to be sure. So someone's hand was raised up. If you have a question based on what we've said so far, either on the remote work or the opportunities you want to learn a skill, or you're already skilled. Let's say, for example, you're already skilled. You have already learned a data skill, for example, that you didn't learn your data skill from us in Credulen, and you are still interested in Career Accelerator. Go to this link and click your interest, because the Career Accelerator is not only for people that want to learn skills with us. It's for even if you are already skilled you've learnt your data skill somewhere else, but they dumped you and they didn't assist you in getting a job. They didn't show you how to get a job. The career accelerator is for you. And even if you don't have a skill, right, and you're like, okay, all of this opportunity that talking about remote work, I want to take advantage of it. We have a skill in our career accelerator for you. So anyone, whether you've learned a skill and you've already started practicing that skill, but you're interested in knowing how to get a job, join our career accelerator. If you have not learned a skill at all and you're like, okay, I'm just starting from scratch, the career accelerator is also for you, because you take care of you from training you from the skill to what, to helping you to build a portfolio, coaching you in your career, and also what, a 3-month internship. Some of you are curious, what does the 3-month internship mean? When you send that message, we will explain better. You know how to negotiate your salary and all of that. So that's what the career accelerator is for. And I can assure you there are very few people that are doing this in this niche all over the world. Very few people. I can, not just even in Africa, all over the world. Very few people are doing it in this industry. So click the career accelerator link and register your intention. If you are interested in our Web3 analytics course, we advise you to click this, and we will also send the link. There was a webinar we did last month on why is blockchain data analytics in so much high demand now. Not just general data analytics. We don't even offer general data analytics again, because we've seen that that's become too common. Almost everybody now can do data analytics, but what differentiates you and why are we so passionate about the blockchain data analytics? Because blockchain is powering the new financial ecosystem, and if you understand blockchain and know how to analyze the data, you get global opportunities, because blockchain companies are natively remote, they hire remote. So that's the opportunity for you. Yes, and it's not as technical. So maybe for some persons, you are not so young, probably you have your career, but probably you are your 12th year in your career, and you're like, oh me, all this blockchain, this AI that they are talking about, me, I don't want to code, or I'm not so interested in too much coding. Well, the blockchain data analytics is for you, because if I'm going to take you through the route, there are also very intense coding skills we can take you through, probably the agentic, the blockchain engineering or the data engineering, right? Which is also good. If you want to learn, let us know. But if you are looking at for a route that is techie but not so techie, this Web3 analytics is for you. It's for you. All right. So I think that will be it. I don't want to overextend this to go beyond an hour. Thank you for joining, and I will see you in the accelerator.